light air phase of our journey here off the coast of Cuba. You can see the wind's down to about 11. Trying out our new sail configuration here today. We are going wing on wing at the main up. So it seems like the pulled out jib kind of pushing air into the code 0 that the main is blocking, and the main is still pulling. Yeah, it's pretty calm out today. Pretty uneventful evening. Just pretty chill sailing. Averaging about 5.8 knots, not too shabby. Yeah, I think it's gonna be fluky today, on and off wind. So I guess we'll be changing sails and motoring depending on what the conditions require. But other than that, Grace is still sleeping. She did most of the night watches. I'm just kind of on this morning drinking some coffee. And yeah, it's going pretty good. Delos is there, about 5 miles ahead of us. Speeds are pretty decent. You know, we're seeing 6 over the deck. We're going about 6. Pretty calm out today.
It's day 2 of our 300-mile offshore passage to Mexico. We've covered 150 nautical miles since leaving the Dry Tortugas. Weather conditions have been favorable, but yesterday a shackle on the masthead sheared off, causing the block and code 0 halyard to fall, and on its descent, the halyard chafed and became stuck in the mast. Bill had to drop the code 0 by climbing the mast, and in steep seas, it was a challenge. We untangled the sail and had it rehoisted by the end of the day, though. The whole exercise took several hours.
We're flying right now, these 3 sails up. This 3 sail configuration is pretty crazy, huh?
Yeah, well, I've never done this before.
Yeah, it kind of happened by mistake. I had to code 0 and I had to raise the main because we went to like 110, which was back when jib wasn't cooperating, like the pulled out jib. And then the wind shifted again to behind us more, so I brought the jib back out and left main up, and all of a sudden all 3 sails were drawing. And now we're just like cruising at 7 plus and 7 knots of wind. It's good to know for like light air downwind, because the boat is pretty steady right now.
Yeah, and it was only until until the wind just kind of picked up a little bit, and then it started feeling.
Yeah, we feel a little overpowered now. Like we're doing in high 7s. We shouldn't really be doing that.
What's the true wind?
15. So it was 12. The 12 was super comfortable.
Yeah.
I could probably like drop a main, but.
Oh yeah, we're still learning new sail configurations.
I know, right? After all these miles.
But it's a super pleasant motion right now. I'm almost scared to say that out loud.
Yeah.
How many more miles do you have left?
147.
It's not too bad.
No. So, yeah, we did 140 the first 24 hours, which is like a 5.8 knot average.
Okay.
So.
How far ahead is Delos now?
Like 5 miles.
Oh.
Not too bad. They just came back on our AIS and everything. We lost them for a bit overnight. We were too lazy to jibe overnight. We didn't really do our run line. We kind of did a big S turn. There's a Gulf Stream like south. But it was nighttime, and I'm like driving the pole, whereas Delos has like the 2 poles, so there's no driving issue, right? They just turn the boat and the sails stay full.
Yeah.
We have to do a little more work and like swap the code 0 to one side and put the pole on the other. And it's forecasted to go back to a port tack, so I didn't want to like go through all the hassle, so we kind of let the current suck us. I don't think it hurt us too bad. It added a couple miles, but we were fast because the current was moving us. So yeah. So now we're back on their rum line though. So we get south of Cuba, which is probably like 20 or 30 miles. We're officially back in the Caribbean city, which has been a long time for us, right?
How many miles?
It's like 20 or 30. Like when we get south of Cuba.
Yeah, when's the last time we were Puerto Rico, I guess? We were coming
after we that transatlantic, so I guess 2019 maybe?
Yeah.
2 years. But I can see like the blue is very like Caribbean blue. Like it's starting to look like the deep water around the Caribbean islands, you know? Like it looks familiar, that like almost purplish hue.
Yeah, it's beautiful water right here.
Yeah.
Really nice passage so far.
We have 143 miles to go. So not too bad.
So because we have so many amps on this passage, what are we doing now?
Definitely not running the air conditioner. It's hot as balls. To be fair, I did put the generator on, but the batteries are fully charged already, so we haven't used the generator yet this trip, so I figured with the 125 miles to go, we have gasoline to spare. I figured if it was 88 degrees in here and like, what, 90% humidity or something?
Yeah, it's getting pretty hot.
Yeah, so I think just cool the boat down middle of the afternoon. Whew. You're happy about that, honey? You're tapping away, like.
Well, we are well into the afternoon of the first, I guess the second day. Yeah, second day. And the water has turned a really incredible shade of blue. That actually reminds me of our first transatlantic on the way to Azores. It was like this color in the beginning. So I think maybe it's part of the Caribbean Sea making its way up here. I don't know, but it's like it's hard to explain. Like I feel like it has a touch of periwinkle in it. Almost a little purpley, but it's a really pretty shade of blue. Wind has continued to decrease. 8.5 knots true. We still have this sail configuration going. 3 sails, working pretty well. We're only going 4 knots right now, but there really is not much wind. But it's been really pleasant so far, this passage, I have to say. So we're some concerns about what's coming up for us at the end, but not too worried. We shall see, but yeah, 120 more miles to go to Mexico.
Hazy day.
It is a really hazy day. So we're officially in that second phase, aka the wind hole. You can see we're going 3.5 minutes.
Well, 5, true.
Yeah, we're just sailing slowly.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I got a motor too, but
It's been a very pleasant trip so far.
yeah, 109 miles left, so.
109 miles left.
us, wind against us, the last 25 miles. Right here, down the way.
As the hours tick by, the wave height climbs as the Gulf Stream's current pushes us into the strong wind. We aren't able to make even 5 knots, and progress is slow. Though we were prepared for these conditions, Bill is double-checking the deck to make sure everything is secured. We had the staysail ready to go on deck in case it was needed, so he's making sure it's not going anywhere.
Bienvenido a Mexico.
Well, there's Mexico.
Here we are.
A little crazy in phase 3 of this trip.
Yeah, phase 3 was the hardest.
Phase 3 was every bit what we feared it would be.
That's how the freedom, yes.
Plus a little more. Oh, God.
Surfing.
Really, really, really big waves. And hiding down below, cabin's pretty messed up. I'm talking to the camera, I'm showing them the mess that the ocean did to our boat.
That's in there. Learned a few things.
talk about it when we have better audio. Our lessons learned. Those will come later.
Say you're not learning in this life, you're lying. These waves are ridiculous.
These waves are pretty bad.
Yeah, sure. There's waves everywhere.
No.
Get out of here.
Probably a good thing that we did this entrance, right?
Yeah, this is like the MVP. Like, close together 10 foot or something. Let me know.
Yeah.
They're like,
For sure.
where's that red building?
Oh, that buoy looks so far away.
Now I can finally turn.
It's probably like 300 feet in front of us, and it looks like it's miles. Oh. There's our turning point. I feel like it's already calming down a bit. Well, the last leg of the journey was not a good one. It was not fun. But we made it and just got docked up and cleared into the marina. What does that mean? Oh, we made it to Mexico.
Yeah, awesome, right?
Yeah.
Making 25 amps. 26 amps. This one's on. Yeah, running air conditioning. You know you're booked a floating power plant when that's the case.